Okay, so tell me a little bit about how you got started in the disability community. What was that journey like?
My journey, of course, like many people, was a personal journey. When I was in junior high, my older brother dove in a lake in Minnesota and sustained a spinal cord injury. So he, at that point, at age just before his 19th birthday, became basically a wheelchair user, a manual and electric wheelchair user. He then went on to marry a woman with cerebral palsy, and they became my mentors, and that's how I learned about physical therapy and working with people with physical disabilities.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the work that you do nowadays in the physical therapy realm? You know, what sorts of things do you like focus on?
That's a good question. I spend most of my time working with children and youth and some adults who have mobility challenges, whether it's because of a brain injury or cerebral palsy or a spinal cord injury, spina bifida, whatever. I find strategies to help them really go out and do what they want to do in daily life. You know, if they have a desire to do a particular activity, my research and my clinical work is around strategies to help them be able to go do and be what they want to be.
Mm-hmm. So I understand that you're part of the Bjornson lab. What do you guys typically do there at the lab?
That's a great question. The Bjornson Lab is basically funded by the National Institute of Health, research funding that we have for a number of different research studies. One research study is looking at orthotics for people who walk with cerebral palsy. Another is a power training protocol where we're doing power training lifting with youth, junior, senior high youth with cerebral palsy. We're doing powerlifting and then treadmill training. And then the last one is a treadmill training protocol for elementary school age children. And we're actually taking treadmills out to kids' homes. We bring the therapist to their home and we give them an intense burst of treadmill training. And what we want to find out is if there's any of those protocols are better than the others to help kids and youth be able to do what they want to do, like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm. Uh, like, how do you sort of, I guess my next question is, how do you sort of prioritize independence and autonomy for people with disabilities? In other words, what approaches and strategies do you use to help person with a disability to become more independent and self-sufficient?
Oh, wow, that's a big question. First of all, it depends on the age of the person I'm working with. But I would say my number one strategy is trying to help them articulate what is important to them, what independence means for them or autonomy. So you're talking about a 5-year-old that's going to look different than a 15-year-old or a 25-year-old. So I spend a lot of time talking to them and trying to not talk so much, but to listen, to understand what they're passionate about. If someone's, say, a passionate soccer, football fan, and they're having issues getting into the stadium or finding seats or etc., problem solving with the community to find ways that they can get transportation there safely. They have great seats where they can see and cheer on their fans, or maybe they want to learn how to ski. I connect them with community resources that teach them how to downhill ski or to ride a bike or sail a boat. Really depends on what they want. And when it comes to autonomy, asking them what they want to take on. You know, some people want other people to make decisions for them, but a lot of times persons with disability and physical disabilities, particularly, people make decisions for them, and they really giving them the opportunity to be the decision maker.
Mm-hmm. So, who are the key stakeholders and or key players that you work with in your efforts?
Oh, wow. Well, I would say the key stakeholders or the key players are, first of all, the person or the child with the physical or whatever developmental disability and their family. And they should be the head of the team. And then behind them are lots of resources. Other professionals, could be physicians, could be surgeons, could be occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech pathologists, social workers, nurse practitioners, could be school staff, could be Special Olympics, could be an adapted sports program. We have many really strong adapted sports programs here in Washington State, which are a great resource. So the resources in the community, the stakeholders, there's quite a few.
Mm-hmm. Lastly, what impact does your kind of work have on the disability community as a whole? You know, what can people sort of take away from listening to this episode?
Oh, that's a great question too. I would say that there are lots of resources out there, and I would encourage um, try to help them find the information they need and to keep knocking on doors, even if the door's shut, keep knocking, keep pushing. Um, uh, they need to be their own advocate, and helping persons with disability learn how to be their own advocate, because then they're going to get to where they want to be in their own independence and their own autonomy and be able to live the kind of life they want. My mantra is I would like the children and the family I work with to be able to go out and do what they want to do when they want to do it, regardless of their disability challenges.
Mm-hmm. That's 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 a good piece of advice.